Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate you jumping on. We got some great stuff for you today, including Elon Musk speaking about XRP. Before we get to that, let's take a look at pricing. Bitcoin down almost 2% over the last 24 hours, but still at 67,363. Ethereum down just over 1%, sitting at 2,676. Solana sitting at up 2.464%, sitting at 163.67, and XRP flat, sitting at 0.54. So we've seen some good pricing on Bitcoin and Ethereum in the last few days. Bitcoin was as high as 69,000. And Ethereum touched 2,700. So good to see. Let's jump into some news here. And first, from Black Swan Capitalists, it says over 1,700 NDAs, non-disclosure agreements across banks and financial institutions tied to Ripple. Hundreds of public partnerships, yet they'll openly discuss Bitcoin. But when it comes to XRP, there's clear hesitation, even from the guests on my show. Elon knows something bigger is happening with XRP. Let's listen to this question and answer from Elon Musk at one of his rallies recently in Pennsylvania. Take a listen.
It's been towards crypto under this administration. Do you envision the XRP ledger being incorporated into the financial institutions in the future?
Well, I certainly cannot speak to any specific crypto, but I do think that the sort of cryptocurrency is an interesting and probably valuable bulwark against a centralized control.
It's been towards crypto.
So he doesn't say a whole lot there in his response. And it seems kind of fishy to me, to be honest with you, because, I mean, listen, Tesla holds Bitcoin on their balance sheet. This guy clearly is aware of some of the cryptos that are out there. He does obviously promotes Dogecoin every now and again. So he certainly knows things about cryptocurrency, and I guarantee he knows about XRP. Seems to me he just didn't want to answer there to impact the market one way or the other. Moving on to Smoke Dog here. He says, gets a quote here from an executive at Citibank. It says, "We are in the midst of a once-in-a-lifetime shift. The financial system is being rebundled around a digital architecture." Smoke Dog says, "Smart money is not taking this moment lightly, and neither should you." Take a listen to this executive from Citibank on the new digital architecture.
Our long careers, but it does feel like we're in the midst of a once-in-a-lifetime shift. The architecture of finance, and by that I mean global currencies all the way down to payments, lending and deposits. It's unbundling bit by bit, and it's rebundling around a new, largely digital architecture. And this happened in trading over the last few decades, and it was an evolution. But what we're seeing now is more of a revolution, with new architectures supplanting old ones. And the way our industry has operated for decades, it's going to be replaced with new ways. And the scale and the speed required to serve our clients, it's of a completely different magnitude. So here at Citi, where we move over $4 trillion globally each day, where we enable clients to issue payments in 144 different currencies, where we do business in more than 160 different countries and are on the ground in nearly 100 of them, well, we have a deep appreciation for scale and agility. And we're seeing how the world is becoming more global and more local at the same time, and how it's becoming faster and how it's becoming more complex. We're reshaping our firm and our exceptional assets so that we maintain our relevancy and we continue to deliver for clients. SWIFT, as the community that underpins global flows, must make the same journey. Not just talk about it, but actually accelerate action. Because if traditional payments remain slow and comparatively clunky, as they are today, then it's a huge incentive for others to develop alternative, large-scale global payment systems that could be cheaper and much faster. Already, the convergence between new technology and shadow banking risks derailing years of our progress. There's always been unregulated financial activity, but the new technology has the potential to scale that globally to the detriment of the regulated sector and the clients and the consumers we serve. We simply can't afford the regulated sector to be perceived as technologically deficient to the unregulated sector, and that's why we must relentlessly modernize our regulated financial system through public-private partnerships and through communities that bring our industry together, such as SWIFT.
So great video there from Smoke Dog. Thanks for that share. If you're not following Smoke Dog on X, make sure you do so. He's got a lot of great stuff. But she's saying there, the banks are not going to sit on the sidelines and just watch this happen. They're going to have to be aggressive in their approach to digital assets and make sure they stay up to date, or they know they're going to fall behind. And they also don't want the traditional finance system, to go to the wayside or to be without any rules. So they are going to do everything they can to stay up to speed on everything that's going on. Here from Mr. Man, he says X marks the spot.
The network and the community.
Excuse me one second. Let me turn this video off there.
Long careers, but it does feel like
we're in this one. From Mr. Man here, he says X marks the spot for non-jurisdictional currencies. This is known as a supranational currency. Here.
A supranational currency, so it has no official country code and therefore must begin with an X as per the required standards for business and banking globally by ISO 4217. And there's lots of information around that. A supranational.
So supranational currency, X marks the spot for those less developed countries. I'm sure there'll be more to come on that. That was just a brief 17-second video there, but I imagine Mr. Man will have more coming on that.
It's deeply principled.
Let's take a listen to Jack Dorsey here. This is from Cointelegraph, and they're talking about Bitcoin and how it could potentially become the native currency for the internet. Jack Dorsey, of course, formerly of Twitter, and now I forget which project he works on, but I think it's Square. Yeah, it's Square. Let's take a listen to him here on Bitcoin becoming the native currency for the internet.
The network and the community. It's deeply principled. It's weird as hell. It's always evolving, and it just reminded me of the internet when I was a kid. And I encountered alt cypherpunks when I was fairly young, and this was a topic of discussion for years. I didn't touch it until 2008 when we started Square. Elon and teams at X and PayPal inspired a lot of what we were trying to do, trying to bring in more to a physical world. But we encountered this crazy predatory system that was slow, that was obtuse, and I think. One of the things that we tried to do, which X and PayPal also tried to do, is build an abstraction layer around this complication and around this predatory nature that the financial industry can tend to be, and make it work for people. But when I saw Bitcoin in 2009, you see a chance to replace the whole foundation. And everything that Elon was talking about in terms of ACH and the credit card networks, were built with very different agendas in a very different time frame, and it's crazy that they still exist and they have scaled, but they just are not relevant to today, and they're certainly not relevant to the future, especially when you consider the entire world and countries like Nigeria or Ghana or India and its interconnection with countries like the United States and Canada and all over Europe. So what really drove my thinking and drives my passion around it is, like, if the internet gets a chance to get a native currency, what will that be? And to me, it's Bitcoin because of those principles, because of that creation story, because of its resilience, because of the number of tests it's been. But what inspires me the most is just the community driving it. It just reminds me of the early internet. It's the only reason that I have a career, because I learned so much from people like who are building Bitcoin today. And I continue to learn in that sense, and I'm so grateful for it.
So good video there from Cointelegraph. Drop your thoughts in the comment. Do you think Bitcoin can be the native currency of the internet? Let me know. Coming in from XRP drops here, it says Coin Bureau on Gary Gensler teaching crypto. I can go from US dollars to Bitcoin on XRP or XRP, Gary Gensler said, while teaching at MIT. This guy says this, yet then he moves to the SEC and fights Ripple and is still appealing the case. Just makes you wonder, what is our government doing? Take a listen here from XRP Drops, this video around Gary Gensler teaching at MIT. This is amazing.
Starts with the US, where regulatory progress has been somewhat slow, thanks in no small part to Gary Gensler and co. at the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, making life difficult for the industry. Do you remember when Gary was literally teaching people about crypto?
I can sort of say I can go from US dollars to Bitcoin or XRP.
What happened, G-Dog? Who hurt you? And it starts with the US.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you, G-Dog? So, yeah, it makes you wonder, it looks like they're just slowing things down so the banks can catch up, so the banks aren't missing out in this change. And finally here from Smoke Dog, he says, yes, when the SEC case is settled with Ripple, central banks will have the seal of approval to start using XRP through the XRP ledger, document it. And he shows here, looks like from a PowerPoint presentation, it says exactly that. When this case is settled, this will give the seal of approval for central banks and other financial institutions to start using XRP through the XRP ledger. Below that, it says less speculative than, for example, Tesla randomly deciding to purchase a large amount of Bitcoins. Ironically, the SEC is suing Elon Musk for securities fraud. So there you have it from Smoke Dog, documented. XRP will be used by the central banks. We will see what happens. Things are changing fast. Stay tuned to this channel for more information on cryptocurrency and the new financial system. I appreciate your support. Hit that like and subscribe button. It certainly helps the channel. I'll see you on the flip side.